I want to do a little devilish smirk and look at the camera like somebody else I know. Um, I think something can be said when it has been reported that a certain artist of Black and Jewish descent, and if you really know your history, you really can just call him an outright Jew. If you know, you know. Can't be anti-Semitic if you're actually Semitic, but I'll digress there. It's something to be actual alarmed up me that you have a a, a a deal with when they collude with some of the biggest corporations in society to put you in a burial ground and to make an example out of you. I'm going to educate the audience. Aubrey Graham has an Apple Music deal that he signed a few years back, if our memory serves us correct. He also signed a new Universal Music Group deal about a year or two ago. Oh yeah, come back on camera. That's what I want to see. Yeah, it's very funny.
Hey, Dacia's backup song, bro. So you can your head kind of.
Very funny how if you go to Apple Music's Twitter account, they tweeted they not like us, and I quote, I might be off on this number, 40 times in one tweet while the halftime show is going on. And then when you have ESPN, and then when you have the NFL, along with a couple of other corporations, join in to the dogpiling and burial of Aubrey Graham on national TV. It's quite interesting. I don't even want to view this from the Kendrick lens because I thought Kendrick's halftime show was amazing. I thought it
Dick Rider.
embodied great. I
Well,
thought it embodied great symbolism for Black America. Uh, I thought it was a call to action, not only politically but just culturally on how we can, band together and get certain goals accomplished, and just being cognizant of certain snares and traps that others, try to put in place for us. But I found it quite interesting that they quite literally banded together in order to seemingly teach one of the artists a lesson. Like, hey, the machine, you didn't have any problem with the machine when it was on your side and it was bigging you up. But all of a sudden, they say all is fair in love and war, and I would definitely consider this to be war. Come on, man. Not you suing. Come on, man. Not you getting in your feelings and making gifts like a bitch. Ain't you tired? You know what I mean? It just, I don't know, man. I thought it was I thought it was really interesting to see how active those corporations that I named, how they actively colluded in seemingly sending a big message saying, hey man, you're not gonna sue us, you're not gonna countersue us. This is all legally within our right. We have every right and that's one thing I will say about the Orange Man being back in office. I am a big proponent of the First Amendment of free speech, and he has definitely brought that back. If you don't know that free speech has been brought back, go look at Kanye's Twitter over the past 3 days if it hasn't already gotten banned. You're welcome. That would give you a firm indicator that free speech is definitely back. But hey, man, belt to ass on a grand stage for a halftime show. And the only person that was able to do it, come on, man, Boogeyman himself. Crazy. I'm done with my monologue, man. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say after this.
you done, Dick
Because
Rider? Well, no. I mean, wasn't saying anything. I just said it was sounding like a lot of dick riding. That's all.
it's funny that you use the phrase dick riding when I can recall when the battle was happening. Somebody was using two hands and wiping their mouth after these whack ass diss songs by Drizzy Drake Rogers himself was coming into the feed of the world, and how he was quite literally contradicting himself
I'm
on
glad you
track after
said that.
track.
So is it over yet for you guys or not?
Man,
Because you
this shit
said
been over, nigga.
you
You
s-
can't tell.
if it's been over, why are we bringing this nigga up again?
What do you mean? The Super Bowl just happened, and he just
No, 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 no. I'm
we
not talking about
already hold
Kendrick.
on. So we already had the
If we're done
funeral.
with the beef,
That
bro,
was just
why
the
are we talking about
public. That
Drake?
was just the.
Why are we talking
So
about
we had
Drake as
already
it
had the
pertains to
processions.
Kendrick?
We had already did like our visual. We had already did the program. But like you know how sometimes like for funerals, like if a figure is big enough, sometimes like you'll just go like public with it, and you'll broadcast it to the
Luca got
world.
a
You
haircut.
know, you had that one last one. Because you had a stuff for like the privacy and the family and close friends, but then you had a big one like for the world to see. That was just a funeral for the world. That was just a
All
more
that for a drop of
private.
blood.
I mean, that was just a more public, service for it. That's all that was, bro. That's all it
All that for
was.
a drop of blood.
All
All
right,
that for a drop of blood.
so here's where I want to go. Here's where I want to go. My like I had text in the group chat. First watch Naked Eye at the service. Thought it was cool. Not as like captivating just off of first watch. Went back, watched it. Obviously, I know like all the streamers, YouTubers, and Harvard professors gonna decode it. So I have a perspective off of a second watch and then like going back to rewatch it and being able to pause and rewind it, so on and so forth. But before I share that, Dacius, what are your thoughts on obviously your adversary and Kendrick Lamar and his halftime performance?
Bro, Kendrick Lamar is not an adversary. This beef, I'm not even when I say that this performance was ass, bro. I'm not saying that because he was in a beef with Drake.
Okay.
I could give two shits, bro. I've seen Janet Jackson. I've seen Michael Jackson. I've seen Bruno Mars. Seen all of them. Coldplay. You put his performance up against that, bro. Not top five. Sorry.
I
Was
agree, it's
his
not
voice
top five, but it
was
wasn't
his
bad.
voice was his voice control great? Him not having backup vocals to be able to actually rap? Yes. As you being a performer, did you check the boxes of being a performer? Yes. Was the performance good? No.
Why was the performance not good to you
It
specifically?
was basic.
Because he's not a Kendrick fan.
It
That's
was
why.
basic. I would have loved to hear. I would have loved to hear loyalty. I would have loved to hear drink. I would have loved to hear a lot of other stuff that you have. I would have loved to hear some stuff with TDE.
I
You got
understand.
some Black hippie stuff.
I
You
mean, I understand what
many
you're
of many
saying,
of
but
features that you could have brought people like, bro. You brought SZA out, bro. If you on the GNX shit and that's what you're just presenting, the GNX shit, and not K Dot and the GNX. Oh, okay, cool, bro. Yeah, yeah. This was just a stunt, right? It wasn't a performance. It was a stunt, right? And to that stunt, I say, yeah,
I
mediocre at
think
best.
I think you missed the stunt though. I think the stunt had little to do with Drake, but more to do with the actual country at hand more than Drake. Drake was a part of it,
Why is
yes,
everybody talking about Drake then?
because I mean that
Why
was
is
part of
nobody
it, and
talking
that's
about
the best.
America, bro?
Because
That's
that's the
what the
surface level piece that's gonna attract people to the actual
exactly.
performance thereof. Because people are surface level and they're gonna, I told you he's only up there just to do not like us.
Bro,
No,
if the
because
performance was
and
good, nobody would
again,
have to explain the performance. If the performance was good, nobody would have to explain why it's good. It would just be good. It'd be just a
that
general
is
consensus.
that is untrue. That's like saying, oh man, if the Matrix was a good movie, you shouldn't have to go back and explain it to people. Come on, everybody know the Matrix was a classic
That's
movie,
apples
but
and
you have to
oranges.
decode it because when things are great and when things pass the test of time, usually it's those projects, it's those events, it's those songs, it's those albums, it's those movies, it's these major works of art that you have to go back and like he said, he had to go back and watch it twice. He couldn't
Right.
he couldn't
What the
go
fuck?
off first glance and reaction because it was so deep, because it
Right.
was
Because it
filled with
sucks.
so many gems. It was just like, you
No,
know
I
what?
gotta find something good in here.
If
Let me
I
go
if
back and
I
watch it.
pass
Maybe I
judgment
missed
too
it.
quick, I'll lose it. And then with me losing it, I'll lose sight of the actual bigger picture that he was trying to present to everybody. Because if you look at, because fuck Drake for a second, like I'm not even worried about that, bro. If you look at the actual performance, bro, he had a Squid Game theme on a prison yard, which he's done a lot of prison themes in regards to just black people being slaves to the system or being slaves to an idea. And it was a lot of rhetoric that went into that performance that spoke bigger. than the nuance of Drake himself. Drake was a small cog in the machine, and I think in my personal opinion, I think K. Dot hovered around Drake in that regard, and then he brought up the Black America aspect with having Samuel L. Jackson be Uncle Sam. My reason being for that is because Drake made a comment during the beef that says, "Why you always rapping like you trying to free the slaves?" And for me as a black man, that stuck with me because Drake, you claim to be black, or maybe you only claim to be black when it's convenient for you. I'll let you, be the bearer of that news on what you decide he does with that. But to me, as a black man himself, how could you even fix your lips to say that when you have a dad who's full black, when your dad's dad and when your dad's dad was probably incubated into slavery? It was just so tone deaf and such an ignorant and stupid fucking thing
It
to say.
wasn't, bro. You feel that
Hang
way.
on a
Kendrick
second, bro.
is
Hang
a
on, hang
hypocrite.
on. I'm arriving to the point. Let me make it. In my opinion, it was so tone deaf. It was so far from the reality that Drake and I live in. But it just showed me how far apart that Drake is from actually being a black man and living the plight of the black man, because you don't get to do that. Unfortunately for Drake, you get to claim to be Jewish when it's convenient. You get to be black when it's convenient. You get to be Canadian, fam, and be your cheese, fam. You get to do all of that, fam. You all that lame ass shit. You know what I'm saying? You let somebody tell him when you in Atlanta, you know what I mean? When you in Houston, you sipping syrup and you doing all of this unbecoming things and you with the mob and you being a gangster. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't like my 40-year-olds to be trying to be a thug when you ain't never been a fucking thug ever in your life. It was
Who are
just
we
so far
talking
from
about again?
reality, bro. In my
Are
opinion,
we
it was
talking
just
about
so far
Kendrick?
from reality with his comments about the slave shit to where K Dot had to really make an example out of
We
him and
back
be
at
like,
Drake.
just really put on a history lesson for bro for real.
We back at Drake.
Because I was
Hey,
talking
y'all notice
about
y'all
the
can't
Drake
stop.
comment,
Y'all can't
bro. I
stop
said
talking about
aside from it
Kendrick
being bigger than
without
Drake,
Drake.
I tried to pull the history element of it in regards to slave, which is why I feel like
Bro,
Kendrick
that
went
was a
with that
reach.
theme.
You reached over here and grabbed this and reached at the performance
I
and
don't
put
think
them
it's I
together.
don't think it's a reach, bro. When you actually have Uncle Sam being a black person when he's notoriously depicted as a white man, right? Because Uncle Sam is the proverbial, right, the name that we give the government when
Cool.
they are
Samuel L. Jackson look like a
oppressing
coon
us.
ass nigga
But
in
now
that
that we
shit.
have a black face of it, and he's speaking from a certain perspective. If you see the monologue that Samuel Jackson gave in between the performances, he was trying to send a message, bro. But
So you a
again,
blood or activist? You can't be both. You're blood or activist. Which one? You're a Paru or you're an activist? Which one are you? Because you're a Paru when it's convenient for you, and you're an activist when it's convenient for you. That's what we saying, my nigga. You always rapping like you freeing the slaves, but you be on some gangster Paru shit. Come outside, they not like us. Go get the fuck out of here.
It's-
Which which
that
which
nigga
which one you
has
gonna stand on?
I've always known him as an affiliate, but y'all,
that nigga
Exactly.
never claimed to be a
Exactly.
pirate, bro.
I have
Exactly.
no clue, bro. That's just my own
You talking about
Who
perspective.
you
a
want to
I'm
be? You
you
saying,
want to
talking
be
about a
you
grab
want to
out
be
of
a
left
gangster?
field
You want
like
to be
this
a
dude
gangster
was
or
Barry Bonds in
activist?
the outfield. This dude just grabbed a Kendrick ain't even say nothing about gangs. I don't even know
You want to
how
be a gang? You want to be a gang affiliate, or you want to be an activist?
what for
he
extra
can't he
say?
can't help where he grew up, bro. This man
What
grew
for
up
extra
in
say?
Compton,
Nigga,
California,
I know
literally in
plenty of
a
niggas who
blood
grew up in the
neighborhood.
hood and they are not gang affiliates.
But where he from? What for extra say?
They created gangs where he
Where you
from, bro. What are
from?
you even
You over
talking
there with
about?
them? You one of them. Get to the
So it
back.
sounds it sounds like we're
Take your
okay
ass to
with
the
one
back.
person's hypocrisy, but we're not okay with another person's
He's
hypocrisy.
not parading games. I don't.
He's not.
When I listen to Kendrick Lamar, he's not telling me to go shoot up the corner and go sell crack, bro.
What
He's
is he
actually
telling you?
telling me how to make it out and how he's made it out his environment, bro. But anyway, you know
When?
that.
On what
But you, but
song?
it's
What
but it's
song?
funny.
What
It's
song does
funny
Kendrick
for
have step by step to get out of the hood? What song?
the same song Drake got. Man, come on.
Exactly.
The same ones that Drake got. Cause what do
Right.
Drake rap
Hustle.
about, bro? What do
Hustle.
Drake rap about as
Hustle.
opposed to fucking hoes
Hustle.
and being a womanizer and
Before
dating
rap, my
underage
last
girls
name
at
was my
16?
lifestyle. And when I visualize success, it looked like right now. You know who on that song?
Tell us,
I
bro,
just
because
want to
you know.
be. I just want to be. Right.
I'm just waiting on you to make a point.
That's not a
That's not a great example at all, bro.
that's
But
not a that's
again,
not. he has
You
Give me
let
one,
your
bro.
questionable
fandom
I
for
look,
Drake
not a
anyway.
great example, but I gave you
outweigh
one. Where's your example?
your moral
Where's your
compass
example of
because
Kendrick showing black people how to be better black people? What song does he have that? What
okay.
song?
I'll
Well,
say
he
that
has
one
a
way.
whole album, To Pimp a Butterfly. If you go listen to it, Good Kid,
And what
Mad
song
City.
is he
He's
talking
telling you
about
about.
getting out of the hood into Pimp a
I
Butterfly?
ain't gonna lie, bro. It's hard to understand you when you yelling, but I can't hear you that good. But I'm just saying, like, bro, Good Kid, Mad City is basically depicting his life and how he
No, give
got
me a
out of the
song. No,
hood
give
and
me a
his different
song. Give me a
stories.
song. Give me a
I'm not
song.
about to go down because you want to, see, you can't pick out a specific, bro. If you go look at the themes of his albums and what Kendrick raps about on a daily
The
basis,
theme of
he
his
does
album.
not rap
I'm
about
talking about
he does
content.
not rap about hanging out with other niggas. He doesn't rap about doing explicit drugs. He doesn't rap about fucking hoes. He doesn't rap about tricking money off on hoes.
So when he
But
hit the
Drake
wrong
does
blunt, he
that,
wasn't hanging
bro.
out with niggas. When he hit the shenanigans, he wasn't hanging out with niggas.
What does Drake rap about? You talking
Getting
about
these
being
hoes,
successful. Nigga,
getting
that
this
was
money and getting these
15
hoes,
fucking years ago, nigga, when he was
getting these
20.
money and getting these
He's
hoes and
40,
getting over these
bro.
hoes and getting more
He's
hoes and getting some
40.
more money.
He's 40. He's 40 talking about fucking hoes
What
and
is that? What does
hanging
that have
out
to
with
do with anything?
niggas and
What does
being
that
in
have
the
to do with anything?
club and
What
wearing
does that
shit
have to
like,
do
come
with
on,
anything?
bro.
So a nigga 40 years, bro, I know a nigga 70 getting money and getting hoes
I
still.
don't care, bro. We talking about Kendrick Lamar and how he actually helps black people and how Drake don't make music. He just fucking he just hop on whatever was
I'm
hot
pretty
and he
sure
rap
that Drake has
about
helped more
hot
black people than
topics at the
Kendrick could think
time, bro.
about.
We talk.
I'm
Hey, let
pretty
me
sure
ask you
that
this
Drake
today,
has
since as
helped
a
more
man,
black
right?
people than
Let
Kendrick
me
could
ask
think
you this
about.
today. I
I'm
got
sure
one
that
question and
Drake
I'm
has helped
done.
more black people than
I
Kendrick
got
has
one
thought
question and
about.
I'm done. I got
I'm
one
sure
question and I'm
Drake has
done.
helped more black people than Kendrick has thought
The
about.
person
See,
send you a
respect the
dating
game. This is what you
scenario,
need you
bro.
to understand.
I don't
I need you
even
to
count
understand
that
on
type
this
shit funny,
podcast, you're
bro.
gonna get a lot of bullshit and you're gonna get some real shit.
We can stop with the.
He got
All
y'all
right, all
pressed.
right, all right, all right. Let's keep it
He
black. Let's
lost the
keep it
battle.
peace. Okay.
He lost.
Plain and
They still
simple.
pressed.
I have a point. Um, I feel like this was all a game to Kendrick, in my opinion.
For
To stick
sure.
on the Kendrick fact,
Yeah.
at least as far as regarding to the Drake
God
issue,
damn.
and I feel like he did that with the theme, with the the PlayStation controller. I feel like he also did it with the fact of, just like you said, he pointed out the fact of, like, I'm gonna attack more important issues rather than overly focus on the beef. And I think when he teased that, people often thought that he was saying that, like, oh, is he gonna do it or is he not? It was more the fact of, is he gonna really go into the fact of giving the people what they want? But
He
I feel like
didn't.
Kendrick just dressed it up this certain way to where it was like, you know what? I'm gonna give y'all what y'all want without y'all knowing that I'm delivering y'all a certain message. And some people may disagree that, oh, if you kind of hit the message too much, it's like, well, that's what
No,
you
that was
that
my
that's
message.
sometimes what you got to do, man.
Sorry,
Hey,
Lucas.
hey, 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 hey! I ain't even on that kind of
Hey,
time.
but you know what's funny with that black piece?
There was
Because
no
obviously
message.
everything that me and you said has been funny. This nigga been laughing for the past 2 minutes straight. But what I find funny is a lot of psychologists say like one thing your body will do when you're trying to cope, like a
His
coping
laugh.
mechanism is you typically you laugh in the face of pretty situations that you wouldn't probably normally laugh at, so which would probably
That
explain the
nigga with
inadvertent
the
laughter
psychology.
that you hear.
But but hey, to get back to the point though, I think he thought it was just. I think just from the get go, Kendrick always felt like this was supposed to be a regular rap battle. I feel like lines have been crossed, various reasons. Maybe Drake thought it was okay.
Oh, there go that name again.
You
There go that name
know,
again.
hey, 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 hey,
There go that name
relax. I'm not
again.
even that kind of time. I'm not even that kind of time with it.
Nigga. Okay,
Um,
there's another thing right there, bro. You can't give me grace, bro. You can't show me grace, bro.
I ain't got no. Hey, hey, hey! I'm trying to make my point. I'm not doing all that.
Hey, make your
Um,
point. Don't talk to me. Talk to the
Thank
captain.
you, thank you, thank you. But I just feel like he was just trying to get his point across of, like, hey man, this is supposed to be a beef, rap beef. It got personal. This is what happens when it gets personal. And at the end of the day, it's all a game and the game is over. That's how I feel like that was his whole little thing about it.
It's not
So, and that's
over.
why,
Y'all
like, the
won't
little
let it
smiles
die.
in between the videos and during the performances, it was like that little, like, hey man, I'm messing with you, bro. Like, I still don't like you possibly, but this ain't nothing that deep.
I had one of the things that I had wanted to talk about with the performance is just some of like all of decoding or whatever. Me personally, obviously, like Kendrick is always put forth the storytelling and the imagery of like blacks and where we came from, how we treated in America, so on and so forth.
Bullshit.
Uh, okay, I just wanna have my piece to say what I gotta say. Um, and
You know
so
why he got to do that, right? Because I have no leg to stand on and no argument. But that he attacking everybody, but it's just
You
that.
you too comfortable speaking on other men, bro.
Let's all get along. Rodney King. Rodney
yeah.
King, baby.
And
And
so
you too comfortable speaking on pussy asshole niggas.
Wait.
I can't fuck with y'all. I can't.
I can speak
I don't
into
know if Kendrick can. You like how I did that, Black Piece? You like that? I know
Hey,
you would like
yo,
that.
bro. He is trying to talk,
I know
man.
you
Y'all
like
being
that.
rude. Go ahead.
Overwhooping.
all right, I'm gonna just try to make my way through the crossfires here.
Good crossfire. I'm
But
dead.
Bitches all up in my business. Can't fuck with y'all.
so like my biggest thing, like I said, first watch, cool, not completely like blown away. Gotta watch it two, three times. Try to decipher through like all the decoding and all of the uh various interpretations. I feel like uh for everybody in the world, obviously we know it has all of like the racial components to it and like how blacks treat how America treats blacks, the red, white, and blue country built off the backs of black people, the Duck One Life with Samuel, the Uncle Sam, like all of those like racial undertones and like the hidden messaging, right? I believe in order for us to truly, at its essence, appreciate what Kendrick Lamar did to its fullest totality, I believe we need to hear from him tell us what each piece he constructed in that performance, what it means to him. So it won't be left up to interpretation and all these other different opinions and like, well, I think this, because like how like we had mentioned like about Squid Games, like I had seen some that was like the way the square, the X and the circle like lit up was like a cheat code that was implemented for Grand Theft Auto. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's intriguing.
Oh, that's crazy. I ain't never think about it like that.
Right. And I haven't even heard like a lot of people talk about the wordings. Like people only talk about like the game over at the end that like you could visibly see like out in like the crowd. But it was another one like when Samuel was talking to like, yo, you being too ghetto, and he had played another song and then like it took a quick shot of like the stadium and like the wording was like this is it was like warning, like you're doing it again, or basically like nigga, you're getting out of line. And so like it was just so much like packed into like that 13-minute performance that like I believe Kendrick would be doing us a disservice if he doesn't like come out, do an interview and talk about like what it all embodied for him and what the clear, clean cut message he wanted people to get with that performance, as opposed to leaving it up to everybody else's interpretation
To
from
conjecture, can I riddle you this though, bro?
Nah.
go ahead.
Do you think perhaps with the state of hip hop or with the state that it has been in over the most recent future, and I say recent future, like I'm gonna say like 5 to 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
People like to call it so much bubblegum rap and so much bullshit substance with things without substance that go and get paraded and get celebrated and get, heralded over, right? I don't know if Kendrick will ever come out and say exactly what these things are supposed to mean. And here's the reason why. The only reason I can logically think of, number one, he's never did it.
True.
And then number two, I think that's the very essence and point of it. He's literally trying to get people to think. How many times have you listened to some bullshit afterwards and it doesn't
It's not a
spark
substance. It's not
anything?
even anything you need to mentally process because it was of
It's,
nothing.
it's nothing you need to process because you understood everything that he was trying to say. How many times? Like, what has actual shock value, replay value? Like, damn, I need to go back and listen to that. I need to go back and read it. What actually does that today? And I will argue not a lot. I'm not saying that no music do it because I don't think that's true, right? A lot of music, I'll say most music doesn't do it. At least the ones that get paraded out to the public, right? For public consumption,
Yeah,
that doesn't have any think factor to it. So I just really think the biggest message of it all is to, bro,
I hear you.
use your brain, think, critically
I
think.
Yes, I don't fully contest it. I understand where you're coming from, but like again, just me personally, I watch it, I
Right.
appreciate it, but I feel like there's another level of appreciation if he could offer the perspective of him actually being the author of this whole creation to be able, because like again, talking about just like the decoding and all the meanings, like you like what we possibly are seeing, it could just be on a mere surface level. But if he could suggest or land a thought of opinion and be like, this is what this meant to me, this is why I brought this or did this, I think it gives everybody over the course of a period of time a true deeper appreciation for what he pulled off. Like as a performer, like pulling all that together, the choreography, the messaging, he could have easily been like, the hell with y'all, I can perform some whatever party songs, yada yada yada, and go about his business. So like a performer or an artist, like I appreciate like him being able to like put all that together. And you could argue like as rich as he is has become, like he still believes that like, yo, he's not like fuck you niggas, like I made it, like you know what I'm saying, like he's still like you say trying to force people to think and understand like, yo, this is how like we are being portrayed or this is what's going on, so on and so forth. But excuse
Better,
me, but
better yet, just like you just said, I think the point is we forget how big the Super Bowl is. It's a world thing.
What
So
his favorite rapper say? Big as the what?
no, we're not doing all that. Think about it though.
I just asked a question. Big as the what?
No, big as the Super Bowl, of course. But what I'm
Okay,
saying is, the
just
point of
ask.
what I'm saying is,
That's what he said.
when you have Samuel L. Jackson doing what he's doing, he's actually talking to people that don't listen to Kendrick Lamar. That's the point. They're actually going to understand. Do you see what
Niggas
I'm saying?
liked him.
And I think that's
My
what the
brother
whole
in
actual
Christ.
point was. It was we're actually fans, bro. We listen to this music, we follow them, all that stuff. The Super Bowl is a stage where you actually see an artist that you never heard of in your life. So this music that they're listening to is actually ghetto. It's actually this. It's actually that. You know what I'm saying? It's being perceived in a certain way where Samuel L. Jackson is actually giving you, like step by step of like, hey, whoa, isn't that a little ghetto? Oh, that is. Oh, see, that is ghetto. Little things like that.
but this is
And
but it,
I really hate to interrupt you about that, but that just came to my mind right now. It's like I
yeah
really think
man.
like we as fans we do that a lot to where man that was all right. Like no, this is the Super Bowl. Some people have never listened to Kendrick Lamar. People have showed the videos of people not moving to Kendrick Lamar at all in the Super Bowl stadium because they never heard of him.
But I don't like, yeah, I mean, you could say, people never heard of him. Like, I think you could say that about any and every artist that's been up there. I don't think that's just a Kendrick Lamar situation. Like, I feel like we can't get lost in like the clickbaity 30-second, like, oh, they wasn't dancing to Kendrick Lamar or whatever the case may be. You could do that for any artist. Like, it's the Super Bowl. People are lost in a wide variety of different things. You know what I'm saying? Um, but you know what I'm saying? But like, again, that's why I want to hear Kendrick talk about this performance or whatever. Yeah, I get like, like all of the, again, what he was trying to portray and what we saw with, America and the black people in America. I get all of that. But like, again, like Kendrick, like what goal were you hoping? Like who was this message for? Was this for your people or was this for like other Americans, white Americans? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I want to hear him talk about those questions. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so easy to just take the surface level of like what we saw. Like, I really want to be able to like pick his brain
I
and
don't think we're doing surface level analysis of it. I think we're trying to psychoanalyze it and go deeper and bigger picture with it, which is why, because it's so probing, because it's so multifaceted, you have an array of different questions, an array of different angles you can kind of come at it with. So it's just like you can really ask a few different questions from a few different sides of that perspective, in my opinion. which is why it kind of leaves you, like you stated, with more questions rather than answers. But I think that's the very thing, because if you already know the answers to it, we probably talk about it the night of the Super Bowl and then we done, right? Like I can't remember a Super Bowl halftime show to where people were this interested in it after the fact. Now, granted, now if you get some surface level bullshit, right? You put some titties or some ass up there like Janet Titty popping out. Of course, niggas was talking about that years after because it's Janet Titty. A nigga ain't ever seen it. Well, at least we haven't, right? I don't know about y'all, but I hadn't seen it prior, so
Yeah,
it was news.
wasn't privy to the Janet Titty.
Was you feel me? So it's just like, because it leaves you with more questions than answers, it's pulverizing. It's like, damn, do we need to go back and listen to it? Even the fact that we even still talking about it is, it's just, it's calling
Since we've
people to
been
action,
doing
it's
the
calling people to think.
since we've been doing the pod, I don't remember us ever like talking about a Super Bowl halftime show like to
We
this
don't, because
extent.
this shit ain't, and this shit don't be nothing. It
Yeah,
don't be no messaging in it. It just be a whole bunch of loud good. Oh, she sung good. Oh, you heard that? Oh, she
yeah,
sung my song that I heard 2 3 years. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Nah,
So
Yeah.
was
Then we
last
never
year's
talk about it
performance
again.
not better than this year's performance?
You said
bro,
what?
Was last year's performance at the halftime show
I
not
don't
better than
even
this year?
remember who,
I,
and I'm gonna be real with you. I don't really even
off
remember
the
who
top
was
of my
performing
head, gun to
last
my
year. Off the
head,
top of my head,
yeah, gun to my head, off the top of my head,
wasn't 50 Cent?
last year,
Didn't
I
50
would have been
Cent do
like,
something with Dr. Dre? I think Dr. Dre ended up bringing out a whole bunch of people, and
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
good. I thought the performance was good, but like, do I?
You don't even know who
And I
performed.
say the performance was good because Dr. Dre ended up bringing out 3 and 4 people, so it wasn't just a performance by Dr. Dre, right? It was Dr. Dre and friends, Dr. Dre with
So last
Eminem,
year
Dr.
we
Dre with
talked about the halftime show after because of who did it. This year we're talking about the halftime show after because who he beefed with.
That's not true.
Okay.
you know what, Dacius? I'm gonna
Who
shoot you.
performed? Who
I shoot
performed?
you.
Who performed at the halftime show last year?
I just told you.
Was it
I
Any
literally
one of
been
y'all
talking
tell me.
about it for a couple minutes. I
if
said
if
Any
Dr.
one of
Dre
y'all tell
literally
me.
just brought out 3 and 4 people.
if it's
It had to be
correct, I don't know if it
multifaceted.
was last year or the year before, but if it's correct that Dr. Dre and friends, that would be who? Dr. Dre, 50 Cent,
50 Cent, he brought
Eminem,
out
Kendrick
50 when he was
Lamar.
hanging upside down.
That was not last year.
Okay, well, I don't
That
know who it
just proves
was
my
last
point
year.
to how lackluster it was, bro.
Yeah.
Uh,
Was that the year before?
yes,
The
was
last
the
year's Super Bowl will be talked about longer.
Usher.
No. This one will because of Drake. No, this one will because of Drake. People will continue to talk about this performance because of Drake.
It was Usher.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Nobody gave a
yeah.
flying fuck.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Usher.
That's
But
actually not
no,
true.
It was Usher. Then it was Dre and Friends, and then it was The Weeknd. And out of them, honestly,
I think you
it
going
was
back.
The Weeknd that kind of got them all, in my opinion. Money,
So you thought the weekend was better than
look,
Bruno Mars?
I don't remember Bruno Mars.
Gotcha.
I
Gotcha.
could honestly be just
I
being
honestly
like,
don't,
I
bro.
recollect these
biased. Like
halftime
I could
The
shows.
only
respectfully say
I
I
thing,
could possibly
recollect
be
this.
being biased, but from what I recollect, no.
I don't remember this one. Don't
but
remember this
I
one. Don't
will
remember
say
this one. Kendrick
this.
was great though.
I will say
I
this.
remember Lady Gaga.
Got it.
I
She
do
came from the
believe.
sky.
All right, let's. We don't care about the family tree. I will say this though. I do believe Kendrick Lamar is on that stage because he annihilated Drake.